and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news. And I am allowed again. Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess, and we do these live streams every single weekday, taking a look at the latest news, taking a look at the chart of Bitcoin, and seeing what we should expect in the future of the markets. Now, it's been a very turbulent week in the week of cryptocurrency. We're finally at Friday, which means we can recap the week, take a look at what's happened, and see what's going to happen next. Obviously, it is Friday today, so we're going to see another CME gap opening on the charts later tonight for Bitcoin, and will be interesting to see how the charts move over the weekend. Let's discuss all of this. First of all, please don't forget to like and subscribe and press the bell notification button so that you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Also, we are streaming right now over on Binance Live and on YouTube, so if you're on one or the other, make sure to go over to YouTube and follow us over there as well, where we do these live streams every single weekday. Let's get started on today's news. First of all, we have Bitcoin sat at $28,050 and Ethereum sat at $1,788. So over the last 24 hours, we have seen a slight move to the upside in the two assets. Not so bad of a 24 hours. Now let's take a look at the news and see what's happening. And at the end of today's stream, we will go through the latest Bitcoin analysis to see what is going on. Let me check that everything is running smoothly on both charts. It's very confusing streaming to two platforms at once, but hopefully it's worth it. Let's take a look at this article here. We can see Terra's founder, Kwon, has reportedly been arrested in Montenegro. So Kwon is the founder and CEO of Terraform Labs and has been reportedly arrested in Montenegro for his alleged role in the collapse of the Terra ecosystem in May 2022. For those of you that weren't around in May 2022, UST, which was one of the biggest stable coins, depegged from the dollar. It was an algorithmic stable coin, depegged from the dollar, Luna, and the Terra ecosystem completely collapsed. And we can see here in a Twitter announcement on Thursday, Montenegro's interior minister said the Terra creator was apprehended in the Balkan country, which shares a border with Serbia, Do Kwon's last known location after he fled Singapore last year. The South Korean national, who had been on the run since the demise of the $40 billion Terra blockchain project, is currently detained at the Podgorica airport, I've probably said that wrong, for falsifying the documents to avoid capture. So we can see here, the Montenegrin police have detained a person suspected of being one of the most wanted fugitives, South Korean citizen Do Kwon, co-founder and CEO of Singapore-based Terraform Labs. The Interior Minister further revealed that authorities from Singapore and the US had filed detention requests to extradite him from Montenegro to face criminal charges filed against him. Now we can see here that he caused a blow of $40 billion out of the cryptocurrency industry. No, it was I swear it was 60. We'll check that. It was a huge amount of money taken out of the cryptocurrency ecosystem. And a huge problem caused the price of Bitcoin to fall dramatically. If we take a look at the price of Bitcoin, if we go over to the daily chart, we could see here on May 2022, it was, over at this point here, this is where we saw the collapse, and this is where we saw FTX collapse as well. So this was UST depegging was really the start of the domino effect of 2022, where we just saw one project after another tumble. So we saw UST depeg, then we saw 3 Arrows Capital, then we saw Celsius, then we saw a couple of others, and then we got onto FTX. So 2022 definitely wasn't a positive year for cryptocurrency. I'm sure we all know that. And it all really began from UST's depeg. I mean, it does, in the market, in terms of the cycles of Bitcoin, it was time for another bear market. So we can't fully blame him, but he was the catalyst to really start that downwards movement. But something was bound to be. It was around that time. Let's take a look at UST so we can just see the effects that this has had on the industry. If we take a look at UST here, you can see that it was trading smoothly at around $1, and then it absolutely tanked, and it's now trading at 3 cents. In fact, it actually was back up at 9 cents, almost 10 cents. In fact, was trading above 10 cents for a period of time. But this news has absolutely flooded the market all over again and caused it to dump once again. Let's take a look now at the next piece of news here to see what is happening in the markets. Before we do, please don't forget to like and subscribe and press the bell notification button so that you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We do these live streams every single weekday talking about what's happening in the markets, talking about what is happening in the news, and doing a little bit of Bitcoin analysis as well. We can see here we are currently streaming both to Binance Live and to YouTube live stream at the same time, so I am trying to multitask and it is pretty difficult for only day 2. We'll get the hang of it eventually. Somebody is asking in the Binance Live chat what we are. So my name is Jess and we are from Crypto Saving Expert. We do these live streams every single day and we have created this brilliant website. So let me show you this. We have created cryptosavingexpert.com. Make sure to check this out. We have the completely most trustworthy news there is out there in cryptocurrency. We have guides, courses, and market data, all completely for free. We spent over a year building this website, putting all of the information together so that we can educate people on cryptocurrency. All you need to do is go over to cryptosavingexpert.com, press that big blue sign up button, and you get access to all that completely for free. So make sure to check that out. Let's take a look at the next article here to see what's going on over here. We have Kwon slammed with fraud charges by US prosecutors after his arrest in Montenegro. So taking a look at this, we can see the prosecutors charged Kwon with 2 counts of wire fraud, securities fraud, commodities fraud, 1 count of conspiracy to defraud, and a conspiracy to engage in market manipulation, according to a filing with the Southern District Court of New York on Thursday. So he has 2 counts of wire fraud, securities fraud, commodities fraud, 1 count of conspiracy fraud. So he has the same amount of charges as SBF. Brilliant. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at further down this article. Kwon made a false and misleading statement during a television interview about the extent to which the Terra blockchain had been adopted by users, according to the filing. It further stated that Kwon agreed with others to defraud individuals selling digital commodities in exchange for Luna and UST issued by Terraform Labs. The prosecutor said Kwon contacted representatives of a United States trading and investment company to obtain their assistance in altering the market price of UST, and also made a false statement concerning the effectiveness and sustainability of the algorithmic mechanism that purportedly ensured the stability of UST's price. So that is what we are seeing there. If all of these allegations are true, which a lot of people are swaying towards right now, obviously he'll get the charges he deserves. It's really good to see some recognition and some repercussions for bad actors within the cryptocurrency space, because for years now we just haven't had repercussions for the bad actors, and people have been able to create rug pulls and create other problems within the cryptocurrency industry. They've just kind of been left to do it without any repercussions, but right now we are starting to see the regulators step in and try and regulate the space as much as possible. I know some people are pro-regulation and some people are against regulation. I am on the team of regulation, but we want the regulation to be correct. We need the regulation to be clarified in a way that we can understand. Currently, we regulate assets in a very difficult way, specifically in the US. We regulate assets. The SEC are trying to regulate different cryptocurrencies right now. They're trying to regulate securities, saying that many different cryptocurrencies are securities. To determine if an asset is a security or a commodity, we do the Howey test, which is a 4-step test. And that Howey test was created in the 1940s. So trying to put that model essentially on the cryptocurrency industry is really difficult, and there isn't much clarity around that, and it makes it really hard to determine whether a cryptocurrency is actually a security or a commodity. And actually, you can actually be quite biased on your decision when trying to use the historic test. So there needs to just be more clarity around how we can regulate the cryptocurrency space correctly. This is a real big tangent here, but we'll come back to the point in a second. We need some clarity on how we can regulate cryptocurrency assets correctly, and to determine whether they are a commodity or a security. Huge amount of exchanges right now are getting targeted by the SEC for offering unregistered securities, but this is because the list is unclear. If they clarified it, I imagine many different central exchanges in the US would just delist all of the assets seen to be securities by the SEC and list a whole bunch of new tokens that are listed as commodities. If we had that clarity within the markets, there wouldn't be any of these problems, but we just don't have that clarity, and that is what we need from the governments in the US, in the UK, some clarity to understand how we can grow the space and move forwards. We don't want to be in a space which is constantly targeted by the SEC. We want to have some clarity so that we can see which directions we can grow in and continue to grow the industry in that way. So that is what I think about regulation in terms of regulation on bad actors in the space. We need to see repercussions for this, and we need to see the companies getting audited throughout their process, not just at the end when it's gone wrong and millions of dollars have been flooded out of the cryptocurrency space. Let's take a look at the next article now and see what's going on here. Before I do forget, please don't forget to like and subscribe and press the bell notification button so that you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We do these live streams every single weekday. A lot of people say I speak too fast, and I did get passionate there, so I think I was speaking very fast, so I'll try and slow down from this point onwards. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and press the bell notification button, and don't forget to go over to cryptosavingexpert.com and go over to this big blue button here. Press this. Can you see my mouse on these live streams? I don't think you can. If you press the big blue button that is up here and just put in your email address and create a password, you get access to all of our information completely for free. We have the most reliable cryptocurrency news. We have cryptocurrency guides, courses, and market data as well, completely for free. We spent over a year putting this website together, putting all of the information together to enable people to learn about cryptocurrencies somewhere they can trust. So make sure to check that out if you haven't already, and if you already checked out and you love it, make sure to share it with your friend and share these live streams with your friends as well. Let's take a look at the next piece of news here though. We have the Ethereum upgrade coming up, so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit more. So we have the last bridges to cross until Ethereum Shanghai upgrade arrives. The final Ethereum client releases will be completed by early next week, with the bug bounty now doubled to $500,000. So we're going to see the Ethereum Shanghai launch in April. The final event will allow Ethereum users to withdraw Ethereum staked and rewards accrued on the Beacon chain since its launch in December 2020. So, Jesus, 2020? That feels like it was not that long ago. The time has gone so fast. There are currently 17.77 million ETH staked on the network, representing over 14% of all ETH in circulation. Given the number of stake coins, many have weighed in on the possible impact of the token release on the market. While some warn of a potential increase in selling pressure, others believe the impact will be minimal because most stakers are underwater. Hence, there are few incentives for holders to sell. Let's take a look at the next article here, because we have another one really similar, and then we'll discuss this in a little bit more detail. Ethereum's Shanghai upgrade, should we be bullish or bearish? Taking a look at this, we've got an explanation of what's going on here. And we can see here, the bottom line is, the upgrade is certainly bullish for the Ethereum network, as it is one step further to a more efficient and scalable chain. Essentially, this is the final upgrade of moving Ethereum from proof of work to proof of stake. That is a huge argument in itself, whether you prefer proof of work or proof of stake. It's a huge conversation. Proof of work, Bitcoin specifically, has had a huge amount of negative press released about it because it runs on the proof of work consensus algorithm, which is not exactly environmentally friendly. Proof of stake seems to be more environmentally friendly because you don't require all of that hardware and all of those electricity costs to complete complex cryptographic puzzles. But some people do still prefer proof of work. It does have some benefits, although those miners for proof of work have to go and buy all of this hardware and spend all of this money on electricity costs. They kind of create this attachment to the blockchain. They can't just decide one day, you know what, I'm not going to mine this anymore. People that are working on proof of stake blockchains can. They can just decide, I don't want to be a validator anymore, unstake my tokens, that's it, done. People that are mining proof of work blockchains have a bit more of an attachment, so we have that long-term attachment to the blockchain. There are some other benefits to proof of work as well, to proof of stake. There's a huge argument to be had there. We're not going to go into that too much in today's stream because we'll be here all day. We can see here throughout the merge, this was called from proof of work's proof of stake. Lee said, stop crashing Bitcoin. Let's see what it's at. Let's take a look at the chart quickly before we get into the Ethereum article. See what's happening. We are currently slightly down. It's not too bad. It could be worse. It could be worse. We're down at $28,080. Now, I'm just still in shock that we're up here. I mean, when this first happened, when we saw this huge rise from 20,000 to 26,000 because of the banking crisis, I was slightly concerned on how well this pump would hold, because there was a lot of fear in the market, and people don't tend to like volatile assets when there's fear in traditional markets. But Bitcoin's continued to move to the upside, and I'm very impressed by how much we've consolidated at these levels, and it's making me feel even more confident that we can continue to hold these levels, and that this dump to the downside over this period of time was just because of that fear. But as long as we consolidate in these levels, I am incredibly happy. And we will be doing some Bitcoin analysis at the end of today's stream. So please don't forget to stay tuned for that, and like and subscribe and press the bell notification button. And if you're viewing us from over on Binance Live, please don't forget to go over to our Crypto Saving Expert website and press that blue sign up button and get access to all of this news completely for free, and some free cryptocurrency courses as well. If you're new to the cryptocurrency space, the courses are a great way to start. They have text, and some of them have videos of me presenting the courses to you as well, so make sure to check that out. A lot of work has gone into them, so make sure to take a look at that. Let me pull the YouTube stream back up so I can read the chat. Jordan said, take a breath, Floss. I know, I am speaking incredibly fast. I will try and slow down. So anyway, we've seen this Ethereum upgrade and the Shanghai fork, Shanghai upgrade is happening in April this year, or before the end of March. There's fluctuations in predictions of that time period. It will probably change over periods of time, but I would like to show here on the Ethereum Y charts, on the Ethereum supply, we have seen since September the 15th, I believe actually was on, and we have seen a decline in the circulating supply of Ethereum, and that was the key goal for Ethereum. Essentially, we've seen that move to the downside. Prior to this upgrade, Ethereum didn't have a maximum supply. It was just increasing and increasing and increasing in circulating supply indefinitely, but now we are seeing the amount of inflation, so the amount of assets being pumped into circulation, be lower than the amount of assets being tokens being burnt or removed from circulation. So we are now seeing it be a deflationary asset, or if not, a sort of stable supply of the asset, instead of seeing the supply constantly increase, because that's not really a desirable feature for a token to have. If a token's supply is continuously increasing, it could mean that the value of your tokens is constantly being diluted, and that is a thing to watch out for on some of the altcoins as well. Just a little tip there. Let's take a look at the next article here and see what is going on. We have the US SEC sues Tron's Justin Sun for crypto violations. We did cover this article yesterday. According to a press release, the SEC is charging Sun and his wholly owned crypto companies Tron Foundation, BitTorrent Foundation, and Rainbow for the unregistered offer and sale of crypto tokens Tronix, TRX, and BitTorrent BTT. Now, we did actually see another article on this yesterday. Let's pull that up quickly. If we go over to the most reliable crypto news source out there and we go through the latest cryptocurrency news, we'll be able to find the article we did discuss quickly in yesterday's stream, which is that multiple famous celebrities are being charged with promotion of these tokens. Let's see if I can find it. It's proving to be pretty difficult. Here it is. So we have Jake Paul and seven others have been charged by the SEC for promoting Tron and BitTorrent, and we've now also obviously seen at the same time we saw similar effects be pushed onto Justin Sun. So taking a look at this, according to a press release, the SEC is charging Sun and his wholly owned crypto companies for the sale and offer of crypto tokens BTT and TRX in a complaint filed in the US District Court for the the Southern District of New York on Wednesday, the SEC accused Sun and his companies of offering and selling TRX and BTT as investments through unregistered bounty programs and monthly airdrops. The commission further alleged that Sun and his companies fraudulently manipulated the secondary market for TRX through extensive wash trading, thereby violating the anti-fraud and market manipulation laws. Between April 2018 and February 2019, Sun allegedly instructed his staff to execute over 600,000 wash trades of TRX between two crypto trading accounts he controlled. The employees wash traded about 4.5 million to 7.4 million TRX daily with the help of Sun, who supplied the tokens. So we can see this all here. Extract from the SEC charges allegedly showed wash trading between accounts 16 and 17, and the agency also charged Sun for generating $31 million in profits from the illegal and unregistered sale of TRX on the secondary market. So then we have an explanation of wash trading, which is essentially, let's read through this, an illegal activity wherein a trader repeatedly buys and sells the same asset. So if they just buy and sell the asset over and over again, they can just make huge amounts of profits. We can see here a trader will conduct this behavior to send misleading or inaccurate information to the market. It looks like the asset is incredibly liquid, looks like a popular asset, and people may choose to invest into it. So we've also seen the SEC sue Lindsay Lohan and other celebrities. We did just discuss that in that previous article that we read through yesterday. I'm sure more news will be coming out about this, so make sure to stay tuned with us at Crypto Saving Expert. Taking a look at the live chat now on YouTube, we can see here David said fast talk is a sign of intelligence. Thanks, David. That is the backup that I needed. I am a fast talker, which is inconvenient for everybody. No one can ever understand what I'm saying, but it's not just on a live stream, it's every single day of my life. I just speak so fast. I am trying to slow down, but I've just got so much information to share. Let's take a look now. Let's check everything's running smoothly one last time. Over on the Binance chat, we do currently have 237 live viewers over on Binance Live, as well as many viewers over on YouTube. So if you wouldn't mind going to the live stream on YouTube and pressing the like button, following us, subscribing, all of that good stuff, and making sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com, we would greatly appreciate it. Let's take a look at what is going on in the next market. Let's see. Lee says Binance BTC charts data tracking has gone down. By the way, that's why the dump didn't show on your chart. That was the Binance chart, I think. Yeah, it should have been the Binance chart. Let's take a look at the next article here and see what we have in store. We are moving away from Justin Sun. Still talking about the SEC and their regulations, though. Let's take a look at this. We have Coinbase receives SEC's warnings over potential security charges. Now, we do know that that Coinbase received a Wells notice from the SEC about the agency's plans to bring enforcement action over its crypto offerings and potential violations of federal securities laws. So, a Wells notice is essentially a notice that says we're about to come after you. You are our next victim. So we can see here Coinbase said the Wells notice is related to parts of its exchange, its staking service, Coinbase Earn, Coinbase Prime, and Coinbase Wallet. So the notice is a letter from the SEC, and we've got all that information there. The notice is the latest development in the age-long discussion between the SEC and Coinbase, and the Commission's chair, Gary Gensler, has reiterated that most crypto tokens and products are securities and must be registered with the agency. To this end, the SEC has clamped down on crypto firms. So we can see here that the SEC are trying to say that most tokens and products are securities, but they aren't showing us the clarity within their regulatory framework for us to understand how they are coming to this conclusion. We need clarity, as I said earlier in today's stream, on the regulatory framework so we can understand that. And I imagine as soon as they say, right, this is what a security is, this is what a commodity is, and it's not from the Howey test that was created back in the 1940s that doesn't fit the model control of cryptocurrency whatsoever. If they come out with some regulatory framework that is absolutely clear and they say this is a commodity, this is a security, many different centralized exchanges try and abide by the SEC's rules. They don't want to be in this position, so they would be going around and unlisting all of those securities and listing a whole new bunch of tokens that are determined to be commodities. So they would actually try and do this in the right way. They're not purposely going against the regulators. These big exchanges don't want to be at the target of the SEC. They want to be able to grow the industry in the correct way, but the clarity on regulation is just not clear enough. We can see here, it is worth noting that both SEC, Brian Armstrong, and Coinbase has discussed the accusation and have written responses on the matter, which can be found here. Let's open this and see what is in store. We can see, first of all, let's open them both at the same time. I don't think my Wi-Fi is looking very good today. Brian Armstrong, so the CEO of Coinbase, has said today Coinbase received a Wells notice from the SEC focused on staking and asset listings. A Wells notice typically precedes an enforcement action. 2 years ago, the SEC reviewed our business in detail and approved Coinbase to go public. Our S1 clearly explained our asset listing process and included 57 references to staking. Coinbase runs a rigorous asset review process and has rejected more than 90% of assets that have applied to be listed on the platform. While we understand that this is a part of the journey to reforming our financial system, we are right on the law, confident in the facts, and welcome the opportunity for Coinbase, and by extension the broader crypto community, to get before a court. We are proud to stand up for our customers and the industry in these moments. Going forward, the legal proceedings will provide an open and public forum before an unbiased body where we will be able to make clear for all to see the SEC simply not being fair, reasonable, or even demonstrated a seriousness of purpose when it comes to its engagement on digital assets. So in the meantime, Coinbase will continue to do what we do best, to build the most trusted products and services in order to advance our purpose. Continue, blah, blah, blah. So we can see there that Brian Armstrong has reiterated the point that I have just made, that these centralized exchanges are trying to be trying to be on the right side of regulation, but when that regulation isn't clear, it's difficult to do. They've just gone public and they have, as we can see here, been reviewed by the SEC in detail, and the SEC is who approved them to go public. So how can they suddenly turn around and say all of these attributes and features on the website are now going against the country's regulations? We just need more clarity on this, and until we get that clarity, we're going to continue to run into problems like this. Taking a look at this article, we also have some news from on the Coinbase website as well. If you do want to go and check that out, I'll put the link to it in the live chat on the YouTube in case anybody wants to take a look. Let's take a look at the next article here and see what's going on. Before we do, please don't forget to like and subscribe and press the bell notification button so that you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We do these live streams every single weekday, talking about what's going on in the markets, talking about the price of Bitcoin, and analyzing the price of Bitcoin as well. It is my favorite part of the day. They seem to go really fast. I don't know how we've already been on here for 26 minutes. We've got a couple of news articles to go, and then we'll get on to the Bitcoin analysis to see what's happening there. Jason Smith said, can you check the greed and fear index before jumping off the stream? Yes, we can. I will pull that up now so that I don't forget. Let's pull that up there, and we'll just put that at the end of today's stream when we take a look at the Bitcoin chart. We can already see here, James said, dealing with the SEC is like looking through frosted glass. And that is the problem that we are seeing. If we have clarity, these exchanges don't want to receive Wells notices. They want to be able to grow the industry in the best way possible. So let's take a look at this next article anyway. We can see here, we are currently on 300 viewers on Binance Live. We also have many viewers on the YouTube live stream as well. If you haven't already, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com, press that big blue sign up button, tick the box underneath when you've created your password, and you'll receive a newsletter every single Tuesday at 11 a.m, recapping the week in crypto and taking a look at what's to come in crypto as well. So make sure to check out our amazing website. Taking a look here, the UAE Central Bank begins implementing central bank digital currency, the digital dirham. So we can see here, it is reported the UAE Central Bank is planning to place itself at the forefront of the next stage in banking by implementing CBDC in the form of the digital dirham. Now, central bank digital currencies Of course, a huge amount of opinions. Many people are against central bank digital currencies. Some people don't really care. The fact that we have central bank digital currencies, let's discuss this a little bit. They're not necessarily cryptocurrencies. They are digital assets, essentially. What central bank digital currencies can do is it can make us a cashless society. Now, anybody that thinks we're going to have cash forever, I just don't agree. We are digitalizing everything as time goes on. Cash is kind of old school now, and people just use online banking. So for them to create a central bank digital currency, I believe, is the next step, and something that we've seen coming for a very, very long time. The things people don't like about central bank digital currencies is that they are programmable money, and some people think that it could be programmed. So for example, our money could expire. You could get paid and you have 100 days to spend your money and things like that. So that is just some of the fears that we have around central bank digital currencies. One of the benefits of central bank digital currencies, though, if it's run on a blockchain, is that they could be educating people on how to use cryptocurrencies. They teach people how to interact with the blockchain and how to make transactions on a blockchain. What's stopping people from realizing there's better blockchains out there? Let's move to Bitcoin. So there's some of the arguments for and against central bank digital currencies. It's a topic that we could talk about forever, but I would recommend doing a little bit of research and concluding your own opinions on that. It's an interesting topic. Let's move on to the next one down here and see what's going on here. We have blockchain layer 1 Radix raises $10 million at $400 million valuation. Now, there just seems to be crazy numbers in the world of crypto. We can see here a Web3 blockchain firm has announced today that it has raised $10 million in new funding as it keeps expanding its commitment to the growth of the blockchain ecosystem. So we have here, Radix is a layer 1 blockchain network that promises to deliver a radically improved developer and user experience, with this latest funding putting the company at a valuation of $400 million. The investment was delivered in a private funding round led by DWF Labs. The Radix CEO told The Block about how DWF Labs supported the token round entirely. He claimed DWF had already contributed $8 million in funding and would soon contribute the final $2 million. According to Rudyard, since late December last year, DWF had been buying XRD tokens from Radix Tokens, and the Radix subsidiary had issued tokens daily. However, he declined to comment on the token unlock schedule. So that's a huge valuation for the cryptocurrency markets. Once again, it really feels like we have seen a huge amount of movements to the downside in 2022, but people were still building in the space, and now we've seen this move to the upside. We're getting all of these positive things coming out of the space already. So it's a very nice thing to see. Let's take a look at the final article for today's news. We're back talking about the SEC. As always, the SEC has issued fresh investor alert on crypto and says risk of loss is significant. The SEC just don't like cryptocurrencies. I think that's evident and pretty clear. They've said in an investor alert on Thursday, warning investors to exercise caution when dealing with cryptocurrency as the risk of loss in crypto assets remains significant. Now, cryptocurrency is a risky asset. All the different cryptocurrency tokens are volatile. We see rug pulls. We see people exploiting the smart contracts. We see lots of problems within the cryptocurrency space, but it's a new industry and we are still growing. We're still learning from mistakes, learning the best practices for the different coding languages. We need to build on the foundations that we have built and continue to improve the space. It's not perfect. We see volatility, we see problems, we see fraud, we see anything you could imagine, but the space is improving, and the cryptocurrency industry may be volatile, but it may also create some pretty big profits as well. The SEC obviously are going to be against cryptocurrencies at this point in time, and a lot of investors do unfortunately lose some money as well as gain some money. In fact, I've lost a huge amount of money in crypto previously. It seems that everybody that's successful in cryptocurrency makes a huge amount of money, loses a huge amount of money, and then can really start the journey. And I'm kind of on the up of the second process, but it seems a pretty common thing to happen within the cryptocurrency space. Let's take a look at the chat. Lord Spud says, smash that like button for good luck on your next trade. Agreed. That is a really good idea. Let's take a look at the next article here, and not the next article, at the Bitcoin chart and see what is happening. We had a level of resistance between around the $28,300 level to the, let's get this right, $28,360 level, acting as a zone of resistance. In fact, we can even draw this on here. Do you know what I haven't done yet? I haven't changed my lovely jazzy new titles that we've created here. I hope you all like the new setup of the live stream. I feel like it's a little bit clearer for to see and is maybe a bit better for watching on a phone as well. So let me know what you think of this. We can see here that we have this zone of resistance. We do still have it there. We have broken through it twice, but kind of shot back down immediately after. I do still think it's acting as a level of resistance and something that I'm watching out for. We also, on the bigger time frames, if we take a look at this, there's a data error on Binance. I think that might be the problem that Lee was saying about earlier in today's stream. Let's try something else and see if this is a solution. Here we go. We are seeing a slight move to the downside. I was, in fact, dumping the price of Bitcoin. Let's take a look at this again and use this data instead. Something going on with TradingView at this point in time. You can see here, that's the level of resistance that I'm watching out for on the 1 hour chart. We are currently trading at $27,720 for Bitcoin, still incredibly high, not too concerned here. I would say we actually have a level of support which we could draw from these points that we are getting pretty close to. If we take a look at this, I would actually take the wick there and probably move this here. We are looking at around 27,325 and I'm waiting to see. Let's see if we've got some indicators on here. 4 hour chart, RSI is looking neutral. MACD is looking pretty neutral, slightly in the bearish momentum, but not considerably. On the smaller time frames, we're seeing something pretty similar. 1 hour time frame is not looking too healthy on the MACD chart, looking like we are gaining bearish momentum. But all in all, we're not looking too bad. We're up at $27,700. The more supports we retest, the better. It's a very interesting time to be within the cryptocurrency industry. Let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index. We're currently sat at 61. We were at a high of 68. So we have seen a slight move to the downside. As I always say, I like to change my fear into greed and my greed into fear. So when this is in greed, I'm slightly fearful about buying into different assets, but it's looking pretty interesting right now. We'll have to see what happens in traditional finance. This is what is really swaying the markets of cryptocurrency at the moment. So we still need to just continue to unwrap that, see what happens with the banking systems, and continue moving forward. Obviously, we've had volatility this week from the interest rate announcement in the US. What I want to take a look at here before we finish today's stream is the Bitcoin futures chart. So it is Friday today, which means at 10 p.m. UTC time tonight, I believe. Let me check that because I keep doubting myself that it's actually 11 p.m. Let's take a look at this. So this candle closed here. It's at 9 p.m. I wasn't right with either of my sayings. So at 9 p.m. tonight, UTC time, we will see this chart begin a gap. So this is the CME chart, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which is the largest derivatives exchange in the world. They are operational Monday to Friday, but at Friday, 9 p.m. UTC time, they will shut for the weekend. And obviously, Bitcoin trades 24/7. So we will create a gap in the markets, just like we've seen here. And that gap acts like a magnet for the Bitcoin price. Currently, we have a CME gap up at $35,300 and we have one down at $20,360. So it'll be interesting to see how this gap is created this weekend when we start the gap for the weekend. Usually, the probability of a gap closing on the Monday, Tuesday following the weekend is incredibly high. If you look at the data from 2023, I think only 3 gaps haven't been closed the following weekend, or maybe 2 gaps. And considering 2 out of what are we in now, week 12, that's a pretty high probability. So that is what we're looking at there, and it's a very profitable trading strategy to do. Many people just trade the CME gaps. They just when the CME charts open on the Monday, they just put in a long or short position depending on which direction the charts closed on the Friday previously. And that is a pretty profitable trading strategy that many people use. But that is what we're looking at right now. So it's best to keep an eye on the CME chart over the weekend and see how this plays out. Just to find that, you put in BTC 1 exclamation mark on TradingView and it should come up for you. But all in all, I think that's the end of today's stream. So thank you very much for tuning in. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe and press the bell notification button so that you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. And we will be back here on Monday recapping what happens over the weekend and discussing what's happened to that CME gap. So thank you very much for watching and I will see you then.